What's going on, guys? So today in this video, I saw a comment left on one of my videos about how to tell if it's a male or female, and that's something that's a little bit too difficult to just answer with a message. So I figured, why not put a video together on how I sex the gargoyle, and I mean most geckos you can use the same method, and also what you'll need for that and what to look out for. So first things first, obviously you'll need a gecko, and you can try to sex them as young as possible. However, if you want to be certain, give it to about between 8 to 12 grams. Usually by that time, if you see the pores of a male gecko, then that's going to be a male. And by that time, if you don't see any actual pores of a male gecko, then chances are it's a female. The only difficult part is when they're just born, it's either too small or they aren't developed enough to see if it's a male. So sometimes it can be deceiving. That's why you want to give it a little bit of time and wait, just because you might look when it's 5 grams and not see anything, and then all of a sudden at 10 grams it has pores. So you always want to give it a little bit of time, about 8 to 12 grams. You can check whenever, but that's the safest time to basically take a guess. If you don't see any pores by then chances are it's a female. So you're gonna need a couple things. First thing, and I'll show you why, you will want a clear deli cup. Now make sure it's clear. I know some of the deli cups are opaque, but you want it clear so you can see through it. You will need something clean and soft, just like this washcloth, where you can use whatever, just something soft. I'll show you why you need this. You will need a jeweler's loop. This one, it has a light on it, which makes it easier to see, and it is 30 times and 60 times. I suggest getting one that has 60 times because that's what I use to be able to determine. And then last thing that you'll need is your gecko. So I'm gonna go pull out the garg and show you guys how I'm gonna sex it. All right, guys, so I did this off camera so it's a little easier. So you have your cup, you have your cloth, and you're applying gentle pressure, right? Not pushing hard on it or anything, just keeping it in place. And now you have a perfect view of the underside of the gecko. Now, they do poop and pee sometimes. It stresses them out a little bit, so you don't want to go too hard and you don't want to keep them here forever. But this way, you can flip them upside down. Take your jeweler's loop, right? And now you can push them right up against the edge of the cup and basically look for any pores. So this is how you get them set up in a safe way, and I'm going to show you what to look for next. All right, guys, so here's the underside of that gecko. Where you want to look is right here. So that is the vent. It's going to be right in this area right here is what you're going to look for in the scales. So guys, bear with the focus here. You are under the screen. That right there is the vent of the gecko. If we scoot up, as you can see right there, those little dark shadow dots in the middle of those scales. There's about 3 to 4 rows of them going across this way. And they go all the way across. Those little dots right there are the pores of that gecko. This gecko is a male. The reason being is their actual pores. I'll show you a little illustration of something I drew on a pseudo-pore, which females have, but this one, it has pores. There's multiple rows and they stretch all the way across, and they're dark defined. Pores is just a hole. In basic definition, dark defined holes in the center of those scales. So this gecko right here, it is a male. All right, guys, here is a second gecko, just so I can give you an example. So there is the vent. And what you're seeing right there, it's hard to see. If I can get it to focus. These are pseudo-pores. So it's much easier to see in person than on the phone. You can kind of see, if you compare it to that male, where someone might mistake this for a potential male because you see there is something going on in those scales. However, a pseudopore, as you can see, is not defined. There isn't consistent multiple rows of it, and it's not an actual pore, right? The scale is more like a dimple, and that's what separates that right there. All right, guys, so there you see firsthand an example of a male and a female. Now, pardon my terrible art skills, but I just gave you a little illustration. It's much easier to see in person than it is through a video. I'm trying to get it to focus and everything. So this right here is, think of this like the side angle of a scale. This right here is basically my best representation of what a pseudopore is, if it's a female. All right, there's not an actual pore. Like, think about it again, if you're talking about your skin, they're actual holes, you know, that are into your body. A pseudopore is more of just a dimple. So if you're looking at it from the top up, you'll see these, you know, basically think of them like a crater, and it takes up almost the whole scale. So it's a dimple. There's nothing more to it. It's just a crater, but people might mistake this for an actual pore. They aren't consistent groupings like male pores are. This would be my best representation of a male's pore. So this, again, side view, however, it's not dimpled, it's an actual hole into the scale. So you can see, especially in person, the actual pore. You know, if you were to put a magnifying glass up to your skin, you would see the actual holes in your skin. That's what this is. It's an actual hole opening that you can see down into the scale. That's what it looks like from above. Small, centered, dark holes in the middle of the scales, and there's multiple rows of them. Think about if the vent is down here, there's multiple rows going across. That's how you can basically tell, because when you're looking down on this, you don't see these centered holes. I can't illustrate what it would look like if it was concave. Well, basically, it's just a dent in the holes if they are female. Where this, it's an actual pore and opening, a hole in the middle of the scale. And there's multiple consistent rows of them, and they stretch all the way across. Typically, what you want to look for is about 3 to 4 rows going up and down. Remember, if the vent is right here, legs coming off each side, the head is up that way, 3 to 4 rows going this way, going all the way across. That's how you'll be able to tell. So guys, hopefully that helps out. You get to see a little real, you know, sex scene taking place right there. One is a male, one is a female. Once you get a couple, the biggest thing is, you can't just look at pictures. You know, you have to go out, go buy a jeweler's loupe. They're super cheap, like 10 bucks, 15 bucks off of Amazon, and start looking at your geckos. What will help as well is if you take a fully grown gecko and look at them under a microscope, or a jeweler's loupe. That way you know firsthand what a well-defined pore looks like and what a femora pore, a pseudopore, looks like as well. So this is something that helps it. You know, you see people posting pictures of their geckos and stuff, but it's really difficult to tell, especially if they're a small size. When you have a tool like this and you just get a little bit of experience under your belt, you'll be able to sex all your geckos within 10 grams and be, you know, pretty much 90% accurate with it. So yeah, I really hope this helps. Again, this was just an idea off of a comment from a question someone had. If they're easy enough questions that you have for me that I can answer through a comment or a DM, I will do that. But if they need a little bit more explanation like this, I will definitely make a video. So if you do have any questions or anything that you want me to go over, make sure to let me know. I still have my own ideas and working on that stuff, but it always helps ideas from other people as well. Again, this week as well, there will be the 2 new Gargs coming in on Thursday. If everything goes as planned, it is Monday today, so expect the unboxing video for next week, and I'll show you the 2 new additions. And yeah, if you guys have anything that you need or you want to reach out, just let me know. Just make sure to give me a follow on Instagram. That's where I'm most active, at Red Rack. So thanks again, guys, for watching. I appreciate the support. If you need anything, don't ever hesitate to reach out.